Hello Year 1, today's maths learning intention is to use counting in 2s, 5s or 10s to solve practical problems. Now, have a look at this number line. We are going to use this to help us with the problem I'm about to ask you. Now, hopefully you're there with another adult or somebody else next to you. I want you all to hold up your hands. Hold up your hands for me. So you should have 4 hands, 2 belonging to you and 2 hopefully belonging to another adult. So 4 hands. Now, how many fingers do you have on each hand? Well, we can double check on mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know we have 5 fingers on each hand. So if I wanted to work out how many fingers you have all together on all 4 hands, how would I describe this? Well, I would say 4 groups of 5, because there are 4 hands with 5 fingers on each hand. Or I could use the word lots, because when we talk about multiplication, we either say groups of or lots of. So I'm trying to work out what 4 groups of 5 is. Now I'm going to use my number line, and I want you to help me count in 5s starting from 0. So I'm not going to be making single jumps in 1s like we sometimes do. I'm going to be making big jumps in 5s. So count with me from 0. 5, 10, 15, 20. Did you notice Year 1? Each of these increments, each of these big jumps has 5 small jumps in it. So that's why I was counting in 5s. And I did 4 big jumps because I want to figure out 4 groups of 5 or 4 lots of 5. So I now know that 4 groups of 5 is, what did I land on? 20. So that means between the two of you, you should have 20 fingers. Now, I could also solve this question by counting in groups of 10, because if you have 2 hands and each hand has 5 fingers, including the thumb on it, that means that each person has 10 fingers altogether. So I can count the fingers that you have got between you in 10s. So count with me. 10, 20, which means that 2 lots or 2 groups of 10, because I was counting in 10s, is 20. Same answer, but I've done fewer jumps because my jumps are bigger. This time I want you to pretend that there are 3 of you there. So that means you have got 2 of your hands, 2 of somebody else's hands, but also 2 of a third person's hands. So now you have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hands. So that means we are working out what 6 groups of, can you guess? Remember, it's 5 because we have 5 fingers. So this time I want to know what 6 groups of 5 is, or in other words, 6 times 5. Sometimes we write it like this, but I don't want you to worry too much about that today. So we are going to do 6 jumps, and the jumps are going to be in 5s. So count with me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, right to the end of my number line. Let's count how many jumps I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this part is correct. I've done 6 groups of 5, and I now know that it is 30. Now I can also count in 10s like I did for the other question. So remember, I'm going to do half the number of jumps because my jumps are bigger. So count with me in 10s. 10, 20, 30. So my question, if I were to do it that way, would be 3 groups of 10 equals 30.